remember you must die. Sounds morbid, but that's oftentimes thinking back on your deathbed and at your life and what you hoped you accomplished. That's kind of the sentiment here is, what's your remarkable life that you want to make sure that you live? A little reminder as we move into this exercise for today, we've just explored sacred anchors, things that ground you, and also core values, what guides your decisions. And now we begin to extrapolate those anchors and values into an ideal future using what I call the remarkable Memento Mori 10-year good life quest. And Memento Mori, for those who aren't familiar with that, basically means remember you must die. Sounds morbid, but that's oftentimes thinking back on your deathbed and at your life and what you hoped you accomplished. And so this is an exercise to help you imagine that 10 years from now. Essentially, this exercise gives you a long-term look at where you want to go. It helps you imagine if you live according to your values and lean into your strengths, where will that all take you? Where do you hope it takes you? So the remarkable Memento Mori 10-year good life quest, I know I need to come with a shorter name for that, is essentially a series of 5 sets of questions. I'm going to take you through the first 2 sets of questions today, and then the next 2 sets of questions tomorrow. And then the 5th set is kind of reflection on that. We'll do that in a couple days. But I'm going to give you a little bit of research to support this practice of envisioning a future. So long-term envisioning or visioning isn't just fantasy or wishful thinking. It's a psychologically powerful practice that increases motivation, resilience, and meaning. And here are 3 major research-backed reasons for this practice. So the first is called possible selves theory. Picturing a vivid future boosts motivation by giving your brain a clear target to move toward. In other words, imagining who you want to become strengthens your commitment and energizes long-term action. That's the idea of the possible selves theory. The second area of research that I think is helpful is the narrative identity research. We've talked about McAdams before in the origin story step. Part of that narrative identity concept is that long-range life stories provide a blueprint that organizes your decisions and direction. Your imagined future, in other words, becomes a guiding narrative that shapes your present behavior. And the third area of research that I think is helpful here is called hope theory. So articulating a 10-year vision increases resilience by strengthening both agency and pathways thinking. In other words, seeing a long future that you want makes you more resourceful and helps you persist when challenges appear. So that's just a little bit of research foundation for what I'm talking about here in terms of envisioning a future and taking your core values and sacred anchors into the future with you. If you'd like to explore some of these concepts that I've been talking about in the Compass framework and do that with other people as a part of a community, I'd love for you to join the wait list that I have in the show notes below, so check that out.